welcome back to my channel. Here in this channel we talk about relaxed hair growth tips, protective styling, and so much more concerning the hair topic in general. So if you know you're interested in this type of content, consider subscribing to join the family. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I was able to stretch my relaxer for 1 year. If you've been following me from when I started this relaxer stretch challenge and you've been watching my previous videos, I think you have an idea how I was able to do this. But if you are new here, this is like a summary of everything I did to help me stretch my relaxer for 1 year. So this is my hair at 1 year post relaxer. I'm going to be relaxing my hair in a week or 2 weeks time, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Now getting on to the things that help me stretch my relaxer this long, the number one thing, and I would say is the key that actually helped me stretch this long, is protective styling. As you can see, I am currently in braids, and this is the way my hair has always been, the protective style, right from when I started this challenge. Immediately after I relaxed my hair, I was doing low manipulation styles like letting my hair down, putting my hair in a ponytail. But as the weeks went by, I transitioned my protective styles. So from ponytails and letting my hair down, I went to using just buns. I used buns for a few months, and when my hair reverted, I started using braids, because after my last relaxer stretch I flat ironed my hair. So it was after my hair reverted that I stopped using buns and started using braids. So I started using cornrows under wigs. After that, I transitioned to using braids under wigs. Yes, my braids fit perfectly well under my wigs. And if you see how I do that, please make sure to check out my previous videos. I already have a video on that. I think I've even showed it in more than one video. So you can see how I was able to fit my braids under my wigs in those videos. So please do check them out if you're interested. So I don't use wigs all the time. Immediately I install braids, like when they are still fresh, I carry them out, like just put them in a bun or in a ponytail. But I hardly put them in a ponytail, mostly in a bun. Then as I get older and I get more new growth, then I start putting them under wigs. So you can see that so far I have been using protective styles right from when I relaxed my hair. I just transitioned the different protective styles, and eventually I ended up using wigs and braids, and that's what I'm still using today. So the key for me was actually protective styling. Even if you don't get any other thing from this video and you can get this, you go a long way with stretching your relaxers. Now the second thing I did was managing my new growth. Now this is a major problem. Now for those of you that have been following me, you may be surprised, like, what do I mean by managing my new growth? Because I'm not the type that conditions or moisturizes my new growth and all that. There are different ways of managing your new growth. When stretching your relaxer, the new growth and the point of transition between the unprocessed and the previously processed hair is actually the problem. So if you can tackle this, I'm very sure that your relaxer stretch will be very successful. So now, one of the ways of managing your new growth, let's start from the one most people know. It's conditioning your new growth, moisturizing your scalp, oiling your roots and all that. When you do this, your new growth gets softened, easy to manage, easy to detangle, easy to comb through and all that. So there will be less risk of breakage, because the new growth is actually very kinky and prone to getting tangled. So if you are able to find ways to soften it and eventually detangle it stress-free, you'll be less likely to get breakage. Now I just completed a 30 days hair growth challenge where I was moisturizing my braids with an oil. I got 1 inch of new growth from that challenge. So you can check out the playlist on that challenge. Is linked down in the description box, and is the last playlist in the description box. So apart from that period, and I didn't do that to actually manage my new growth, I did that for the purpose of hair growth. It was a 30 days hair growth challenge, so it was not for the purpose of the relaxer stretch. And before that, I didn't do anything like conditioning my new growth, moisturizing my new growth and all that. So you may be wondering, how was I able to manage my new growth? I was able to manage my new growth by refreshing my protective styles earlier before it becomes too late. So like I said, your new growth has a tendency of getting tangled very easily. Now, the purpose I use protective styles for stretching my relaxers is to avoid tangling and all that. So the hack I use in managing my new growth is, before the new growth becomes long enough to become matted beyond repair, I go in and refresh my new growth. So the point of transition between my previously relaxed hair and my new growth, it's braided. So there's no way for different strands of hair to move against each other, no way for it to get tangled, no way for it to break and all that. And the new growth gets braided before it gets the chance to tangle and break. So this is a simple method I use to manage my new growth. It may look so strange. I know not so many people talk about managing your new growth when stretching your relaxers by refreshing your braids, but that's what I do and it works for me. So how long you are going to go for before you refresh your braids depends on how frequent your hair naturally tends to get tangled. Me, I can go 4 months on the protective style and I can still easily detangle my hair. For some people, at 2 months the hair is very matted. So if you are that type, you can stretch your hair like 1 month or 1.5 months, and before it gets to 2 months you refresh it. This way your new growth has no way to get tangled. So before it gets tangled, you actually catch it and save it. Now, another thing that helped me stretch my relaxer for this long was stretching gradually. Initially, I stretched my hair for 3 months. Then I think there was a time I stretched for 4 months, and then I stretched for 6 months. My last relaxer stretch was 8 months, and now I am stretching for a year, which is actually much compared to 8 months. Like I said, this relaxer stretch was not intentional. So if I wanted to stretch it past 8 months, it would have been 10 months. But I didn't plan to go to 10 months, even my plan was 8 months. But somehow, we found ourselves here at a year. But if I have not been stretching my relaxers before, like 8 months, 6 months, I would not have been able to stretch this long. Because apart from the fact that you need to give your hair time to adapt, there are things you learn on the way when stretching relaxer. You know, learning about things on YouTube and someone teaching you is one thing, and doing the things and the practical yourself is another thing. So when you're actually doing it, when you are getting the experience, there are things you're going to learn on your own which no one can tell you. For example, the part of me learning to manage my new growth by refreshing my braids earlier than when they tend to get tangled, I didn't learn that on YouTube. I haven't even come across that anywhere on the internet, but it's just something I learned and discovered while on my hair journey, and it's a hack I decided to adopt. I don't know if other people have been doing it, but as at the time of me filming this video, I have not seen that tip anywhere. So it's something I discovered myself. So there are things you discover yourself while on your hair journey. So that's why it's nice that no matter how much you learn online, how many tips, how many videos you watch, it's nice to still observe and pay close attention to your hair, because there are a lot of things you are going to learn from personal experiences. There are hacks you are going to discover that you've not seen anywhere online before. So always pay close attention to your hair, not only when you are stretching your relaxers, every other routine you are carrying on your hair. Make sure you pay close attention to your hair, even when you are moisturizing, you are washing, you are installing protective style, anything at all you are doing to your hair, including trimming your hair and all that. Make sure that you pay close attention to your hair, because there are a lot of things you are going to get from personal experience that you're not going to get anywhere online. Now, another thing that was able to help me stretch my hair for 1 year was that I gave myself time. You know, I can't count how many times, like when I first started stretching my relaxer, how many times I attempted stretching my relaxer with failure. I had so many failures when I first started attempting to stretch my relaxer, and before I got a solid routine and regimen for stretching my relaxer. I told you guys that when I first started, I was stretching for 3 months. After that, before I successfully stretched for 4 months, I had multiple failures. I tried stretching past 3 months to 4 months so many times with failures. There were times I got massive breakage. And when that happened, there was one that was so terrible. I was very, very scared that I was going to lose a lot of hair because my hair was so matted and tangled. It literally took me days to detangle my hair after that. And I know for so many of us, including me, I was scared. Like, I thought, no, I am never going to stretch my hair past 3 months again. But then I came back again, attempted it, and after some more attempts, I eventually got it. So you have to give yourself time and don't be afraid to take risk, but then take calculated risk, okay? Don't take risks that don't make sense. If you understand what I mean, okay? Take calculated risk, take risks that you know that will benefit you in the long run. So after so many trials and errors, I was finally able to get a way to stretch my relaxer for longer than 3 months. So always try, give your head time, learn as you are doing that, and don't be afraid to come back and try it again, because you may be surprised at what you find out on your next attempt. So make sure to keep strong, keep growing, and your hair will thank you for it. So yeah guys, these are basically the ways I was able to stretch my relaxer for 1 year. If you've stretched your relaxer this long before for 1 year, please let us know in the comment section down below. And what tips can you give to the rest of us? Like, what helped you? What did you do to help you stretch your relaxer this long for 1 year? So yeah guys, that's basically it for the video. If you have any questions, please make sure to leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll make sure to get back to you. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. If you watched this video this far and you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you are new here and you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing to join the family. And don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.